Hey everybody, how's it going? It's evening time. I'm gonna jump right into it. I'm still messing with this 371. I do a little here, a little there. You guys know me. I don't do this full time. I putter. And this saw, it starts, idles, and tunes beautifully. But what's going on is it's doing several things. Sometimes it doesn't want to restart. And a bunch of people emailed me and were saying, I don't understand what that saw is doing. It feels like it's hitting a rev limiter in the cut. Like it's bouncing off a rev limiter when you're cutting. It's like RPM wise, okay? You can't really hear it on video. Some of you can. You could really feel it though. And last time I ran this saw, it wasn't pulling full RPM. Now, at first I thought maybe the clutch was bunged up because I was noodling, but I don't really think it's that. So I have a carburetor off another Project 372. I don't have a spare one, unfortunately, but what I'm going to do today is let's swap this HD 12B off of another 372. Let's swap that onto this saw and see if it runs better. I kind of suspect carb issues. Now, off camera, last time I ran this saw, I pulled the muffler. It sounded like it was going to blow up. It wasn't pulling full RPM. Like the throttle wasn't opening all the way, but it is. So, kind of a weird one. Again, you guys know me. I'm a glutton for punishment. I always build saws that aren't running. And I'll just keep playing with this thing and it'll either get fixed or it won't. Last time I ran it, though, it didn't want to pull full RPM for a second. And I almost thought it was going to blow up, so I just kept running it, because if it's going to go, we might as well blow it up together on video. But pulled the muffler, it looks fine in there, so knock on plastic, we got something going on. I don't know what. Let's go right under the hood, and let's change this carb and give her another run. Okay, I'm going to crack the cap. Now, somebody mentioned it might be a tank vent. That is possible. I don't know, but yeah, maybe. It's really hard to say at this point. But again, for all the time it takes to swap the carb, I'm going to do that. I do have a spare handle in the shop that's broken at the front. I don't even know where I got it from. I think I bought a part slot. Stay tuned this week, friends. I got a part slot about, I don't know, it's probably a year ago now. I never showed it on the channel. You guys got to check this out. You Pioneer lovers out there, you guys will like this. So stay tuned this week. I'll be working on that, or I'll show you guys that. And you guys were asking about the Wolf Creek air filter. I'm not sure if this is a highway or I think it's a highway. Perfect, no issues with it. The air horn. The air horn is squeaky clean this time. There's nothing inside. I'll show you guys that once I get this top cover off. If I, undo the screws all the way. But yeah, this saw looks fine inside. I see nothing. I almost hate when you see nothing, because then it's like, well, what's wrong with this saw? I don't know. I really don't. Okay, so I'll show you guys inside that air horn. Here, nothing, no particulate of any kind. So this filter is definitely a winner. Fits perfect, and I got to get one size smaller. I think it's this one. Yep. I love showing this stuff on the channel because, well, this is, again, if you're just a hobbyist like I am and you putter, which I do a lot of, you run into stuff like this. I don't think it's the impulse line. This saw is acting rich, not lean. Hopefully that doesn't leak. And again, take the choke and go. Again, one of the reasons I love working on Huskies is they're so easy to take apart. Pretty much all of them. Every Husky I've ever worked on. Even the 5 Series saws, very easy. Now, the funny thing about that is I don't find I have to work on them very often. Okay, there's your carb. This is an HD12A. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's a good carb or a bad carb, but something's definitely going on, and I figured. I was talking to Buckin about this saw actually, and he could hear the breaking up, same as me. We both thought maybe this thing was coming apart. Had a look at it, and nothing. So, and he said the same thing as me. Maybe try another carb on there. So this is what we do, right? When you have buddies, and you have a saw that's giving you trouble, you put your heads together, right? Okay, put this in here. I'm going to put the impulse line on first. Put this in here, line the screws up. Here, let's clip that in. That'll make my life a little easier. There we go. Other than that, I mean, this saw's got good power, good change speed. It's very strong, but it seems to be running worse and worse. So, like I said, I don't know. I might have to go completely back. I have another 372 that I can build. So again, first thing I was thinking is maybe I have a throttle issue. Okay, so pull the throttle and look, it doesn't open any further. So I don't think it's that. That was my first thought. A couple people posted in the comments that maybe I had a throttle issue, and it's like, yeah, that actually would make sense. It wouldn't pull full RPM then, and it would break up in the cut. And I was hoping it was just something that simple, but no. Not my luck. Put the choke on. Okay. See how simple that was? Now, I'm not sure. Where's my tuning screwdriver? Shook. Here it is. Now, this is off of a Minty running saw. Just checking. So it's at about 1 1/4 on the low, half, 1 1/4, half, 1 on the high. I'll go about 1 1/4 just to be safe. This is off of, you guys remember I picked up that saw with the Farmer Tech crank. We did a bottom end on it a while ago. And then I left it because I was going to do a bunch of top ends on this saw. And then this saw ended up having a whole bunch of runnability issues. Almost since the first time I ran it. First couple times I took it out, it was fine. But I had a couple of instances the saw would not restart. And I mean, it was warm, but it wasn't that hot out. You guys know what I mean? I didn't think it was that. I almost thought it was losing spark that day, but it ran fine. And then the next couple times I ran it, even with the old top end, it sounded and felt kind of weird. But now with this top end, it's even worse. Like, as I run it more, the first couple times I ran it, it felt fine. Then it started breaking up under load, and then now it's like it's getting worse and worse. Somebody mentioned a flywheel. Yeah, maybe it's possible. Okay, so got this thing back together. Let's just fire it up on the bench here and make a couple cuts with it, and we'll see what we'll see. Okay, full choke. Remember, this thing's got no fuel in the carb, so that's a good sign. that, friends? So this is yet another carb. It runs even worse now. What do you guys think? I need your guys' help. You hear that? It's missing. Let's try another spark plug again, just for fun. I have changed this spark plug too, friends. I'm gonna go into my spark plug stash and let's put another spark plug in this saw. Weird. I'll just grab another spark plug and see what it does. I'll just grab a brand new spark plug. Interesting. I don't think I have a flywheel for this saw, but I'm starting to wonder. Is it a flywheel? I mean, so friends, it's not an air leak. You can hear that. I put a new wire on the original coil because when I first fired this saw, it was acting weird like this. I put a new wire on the coil. The saw ran fine that day. Other than it wouldn't restart once. I then put a new spark plug in and it ran fine. I've replaced the coil on this thing. This is probably the third spark plug I've put in it. I don't know. This is very, very interesting. Okay, so we got a new spark plug. I haven't done anything other than that. Let's see what this thing's going to do. Now it's too rich. Well then, interesting. I'm not even going to cut this, guys. I'm just going to show you guys straight goods. Okay, I put it to 1 turn on the high jet. Full choke. This is very, very interesting. Okay, I'm going to put the low jet at 1 turn. The saw doesn't want to idle now, and it's rich, but it's not that rich. Interesting. Okay, friends, I'm going to give this thing a little more idle. Okay, give it about a half a turn there. This is weird. Give me a second here. Okay, I'm back. Just put it down for a second. Fast idle, okay. Okay, friends, so more idle. I'm going to give it just a little more high jet. See how this thing just quit, friends? This is interesting. a hard time getting my screwdriver on the end of this carb, on the end of this jet here. Okay. There we go. I finally found rich and lean. Okay, friends, I'm pretty happy with where this is at. I'm just going to give the high jet a little more because I just leaned out the low. Okay, check for restart. Okay, I'm going to set you guys up. Let's go do a couple test cuts before it gets dark. Let's do this. I'm just going to put it in this ash and then do some noodling. Friends, wear your safety gear. Don't be cool like the Tin Man, especially you young fellers out there. Okay, I'll know right away whether this thing's good or not. Friends, that already felt instantly better. Let's do some noodling. Okay, friends, well, I made 3 good cuts and it's doing the same thing again. Back to the drawing board. Okay, friends, I kind of thought it was fixed for a second, and then I went for one more cut and I could hear the crackling, which I lost a screw. I could hear the crackling and I kind of figured, oh, we got issues. And you know, I gotta review the video. Was this thing going on? No, it can't. It's either on or off, so it can't be that. I don't know, friends. This saw is definitely making some heat. Let's look at the spark plug here. Yeah, let's look at the spark plug. Yeah. Spark plug's light tan. I can't pick it up, friends, but I can show you guys on the next video. I don't know what to say. We'll just have to keep on playing with this. Maybe it is the tank vent. Maybe once it gets hot, I'm having tank vent issues. Did you guys hear it though? Wah, 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 wah. It sure felt stronger with this carb on it, those first couple cuts though, so I don't know. Anyhow, friends, that's all I got for you tonight. You win some, you lose some. In the next video, maybe we'll change the tank vent. It's time for question of the day. I want to start off by saying, Marco, it's good yakking with you tonight, buddy, and we'll definitely do it again. Marco's a subscriber on the channel. He's been here forever, like a lot of you guys have, and I always wondered, who is this Marco? Seriously. And turns out we had a mutual friend, and we got put together tonight, and I ended up getting to yak with him, so pretty cool. Marco, thanks for reaching out, and I appreciate you being here, buddy, and we will definitely yak again. I guarantee that. Anyhow, question of the day is from Darren Long. I picked this one today because this mimics my history with chainsaws 100%. Those of you that have been on this channel going way back, you guys remember. Darren has a 266 he wants to rebuild, but he said, I'm kind of short on funds. I need some parts. But I have a 630 John thread and a 268. It sounds like all three of these saws don't run, and he asked me, would I tear parts off the other two saws to get the 266 running? And the answer is, yeah, I would. If you can't afford the parts you need for the 266 and you already have them, why not use them? Instead of having three junk saws sitting on the shelf, you could have one running saw. That's how I started off my saw building. We needed more firewood here. When we first bought this property, friends, I was 29 or 30. I didn't own a lot of stuff, and I underestimated how much equipment a fella needs to own a property this size. So my funds were all tied up buying equipment, and I couldn't swing buying a newer pro saw. You know, I couldn't spend the $500 or whatever. So I started buying junk saws, and I would build saws, you know, from multiple saws, and that's how I started out. And so 100%, yes, I would do that. And most of the stuff on those saws is compatible, so you should have no trouble. So yes, 100%, take them saws apart and build one out of them, and you'll definitely have a good running saw when you're done for minimal expenditure. So anyhow, as always, thanks for watching. Take her easy and keep sending those questions. I really enjoy this segment, and I hope it helps you guys out. Anyhow, later.